In just the last 48 hours, State Representative Nicole Collier has taken redistricting and that fight to another level. She spent the last 2 nights sleeping in the Capitol rather than agree to a Republican-mandated police escort. Collier was later joined by some of her Democratic colleagues in a show of solidarity. And she posted the photo you see here wearing a sleep mask, covered in a blanket, writing, "This was my night, bonnet and all," in the Texas legislature. Here now, Representative Collier, who has been sleeping at work for the last couple of nights. Thanks so much for being here. This fight is continuing, even though we've got a vote today. What's next in this process?
Well, thank you for having me. I just saw the video play about the flood victims in the Hill Country, and it's so disheartening that Texas has not put them first. You know, I'm wearing green because we believe flood legislation should be first. We need to focus on providing the assistance and help that Texans need, not doing what Trump has instructed. And so this is why we're taking a stand. This is why we're here to make sure that we can provide assistance to our Texans that elected us to be here to support them.
And Representative, can you give those flood victims any assurance that the work will be done and they will see relief that they've been waiting for?
Well, apparently they're second because this Republican-led legislature said that they'll take them up after they'll consider flood relief or flood legislation after they rig our maps.
And what's your response to the redistricting fight? Did you all have conversations at the start of this as to the firestorm it would create in other states? Did you anticipate how quickly this would spread?
We did not. No. In fact, I was part of the Democratic delegation that went to California to talk about whether there was any interest in responding to Trump's request for 5 new congressional seats in Texas. And they agreed. They said, we will consider it. And now we know that they are ready to rise to the challenge to address the 5 congressional seats that are likely to pass here in Texas and meet that with 5 neutralizing seats in California.
Is there a compromise here, Representative, in the future for those who say both parties do this, whether it's in the middle of a census like we're seeing now with Republicans or at the end of 10 years, which Democrats have also done? Is there some middle ground to find that can help reassure voters that they're being looked after?
Well, I mean, if Abbott and Trump will back down and withdraw the maps, I see that California would do the same, and then we can just let the people decide. Let the people decide who they want to represent them. That's all we're asking. We want fair maps, fair elections. There doesn't need a mid-decade change, and we saw that there was an introduction of legislation at the federal level to prohibit mid-decade redistricting, and I'm all for that.
Let's talk about why you're sleeping in the Capitol right now. What was your reason for doing so? And I noticed you've got some people behind you. Who's there to support you?
Well, I have with me some other fellow legislators who ripped up their permission slips and have joined me and spent the night with me here on the House floor. I got Representative Penny Morales-Shaw, Representative Cass Hernandez, Representative Mihaela Plessa, I think she's right there, she is, and then Representative Salman Boujani, and Representative Jean Wu, and Representative Retta Bowers were here today.
Okay. Wu was the one who brought up the Epstein documents. Does that not sidetrack the legislation for flood victims that you so want to get first on the agenda?
Listen, Democrats don't get to choose the agenda. The Republicans choose the agenda. What's on the agenda today are these rigged maps. Now, if they put flood relief on the agenda, we'll be all for it. We'll have lots of amendments to help support Texans. But we didn't get to pick the way that this is going. We would put a priority. We have our flood victims as our priority. The Republicans don't.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.